It was no wonder that the program still had significant problems to overcome.
They were doing this in
The alloy
1970s.
used to build the plane was complex, as well as the bespoke fuel needed to make it through the crazy changes in temperature. Then the engine started sucking up objects on the runways, and when all that was rectified, people were complaining that the sonic boom caused by the plane was scaring animals and smashing windows. The SR-71, in its finished state,
That's the sound.
first flew in late 1964 and
1964.
entered service a year later. Despite concerns about in-flight refueling, this actually turned out to be very routine.
Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch the SR-72 DARKSTAR from the US Army. And I just saw the photo of it and this looks something from 2050 or like 2100 because it was so crazy to see. So let's see the
video.
There are some planes that are out of this world.
wow.
These are ones that can
Honestly,
fly on the
like
edge
the
of
name,
space and reach
DARKSTAR.
speeds that others could only dream of. Today, we're going to look at the real-life planes that inspired the Top Gun Maverick's breathless opening scene, the retired SR-71 Blackbird, and the exciting prospect that is the SR-72 DARKSTAR.
DARKSTAR.
But before we get started, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more just like it, remember to give us a like and subscribe to Military World to get more sent straight to your notifications. Before the SR-71 became the most advanced and recognizable plane in the world, when it first flew in the 60s, there was another similar military aircraft. The Lockheed U-2 subsonic high-altitude reconnaissance plane that first flew in 1955.
Wow, it's
It was
so
built
big.
as a spy plane to get information about the Soviets, but Russian developments in the radar and missile fields meant the U-bird was not fit for that purpose. This was proven when Francis Gary Powers was shot down flying one in 1960. The US Air Force needed something that could literally go under the radar and fly extremely fast in the process. The requirements for this new aircraft were clear: a cruising speed well over Mach 3, a cruising altitude over 80,000 feet, and a very low radar signature over a wide band of frequencies. On top of this, electronic countermeasures and advanced communications gear were needed, as well as at least 2 engines for safety reasons. All of this created massive challenges, especially when it came to wildly changing temperatures the plane would have to endure. This ruled out aluminum as a basic construction material, so various alloys of titanium and stainless steel needed to be used for the shell.
Titanium.
Not only this, but the development of high-temperature plastics for radomes and other structures, new hydraulic fluid, greases, electric wiring and plugs, and a whole host of other bespoke equipment to prevent the plane from burning up. Cooling the cockpit was also a challenge. The X-15 research plane could reach double the speeds of this proposed design, but it didn't need to be in the air for so long. The design team needed to figure that out, as well as burying the retraction wells of the landing gear in the fuselage fuel tanks to avoid the rubber tires overheating. 12 proposals were presented to the Air Force for this new plane, and the 12th was given the go-ahead to
so
proceed to the prototype
futuristic.
phase.
Yeah.
In 1960,
So advanced.
12 aircraft were produced. A year later, a strategic reconnaissance bomber version of the plane, then known as YF-12A, was given the green light, but had significant opposition from parts of the Air Force that wanted to work on the B-70 program, a plane 5 times its weight and size than the SR-71. However, testing progress continued, and in December of 1962, the design team at Lockheed were finally put on contract to build the first group of 6 SR-71s.
6.
The first YF-12A prototype flew in August of the following year. With a plane pushing the boundaries of what was possible at the time, it was no wonder that the program still had significant problems to overcome.
They were doing this in
The alloy
1970s.
used to build the plane was complex, as well as the bespoke fuel needed to make it through the crazy changes in temperature. Then the engine started sucking up objects on the runways, and when all that was rectified, people were complaining that the sonic boom caused by the plane was scaring animals and smashing windows. The SR-71, in its finished state,
That's the sound.
first flew in late
my
1964 and
1964.
entered service a year later. Despite concerns about in-flight refueling, this actually turned out to be very routine in practice. The plane was refueled tens of thousands of times before its second retirement in 1998, and it also exceeded Mach 3 countless times. It could operate safely at a maximum speed of Mach 3.3 at an altitude of more than 16 miles above the Earth. Other aircraft would approach this speed, but only for short periods of time. Therefore, the SR-71 holds the world speed record for manned air-breathing jet aircraft. The SR-71 was taken out of service as its Cold War requirements became less of a priority, and the use of satellites for reconnaissance only made the plane less fit for that
And
purpose.
this is the previous one.
But Lockheed are now developing a new version of the
Now the
Blackbird.
SR-72
This
Dark
is the
Star.
SR-72, known as Son of Blackbird to its parents,
Son of
Lockheed Martin,
Blackbird.
and known as the SR-72 DARKSTAR, thanks to the appearance of a similar plane in Top Gun Maverick. Although the DARKSTAR version seen in the movie is fiction, it's based very much on fact. Firstly, the designation SR-72 is the natural successor for the SR-71. It also looks like a Skunkworks concept art for a real uncrewed SR-72. Skunkworks is the Lockheed division that developed the SR-71 back in the 50s and 60s. The real hypersonic strategic reconnaissance SR-72 aircraft was first announced back in 2016.
It will be so
with
fast.
A long blended wing, fuselage, and tiny wings. The clue that this plane belonged to Lockheed was the Skunkworks logo that can be seen on the tail fin, and former Lockheed CEO Marilyn Hewson had been seen saying that the plane was a Mach 6 capable jet. Tom
6.
Cruise's SR-72 in Maverick
Double
shares
speed.
many similarities with the rendering that Lockheed Martin released on its website, including the Skunkworks logo on the tail. However, the part of the plane that looks different is the pilot's cockpit window on both sides of the DARKSTAR. The real-world SR-72 is thought to be uncrewed and would not need a window.
Huh? No
There have
crew.
been rumors of an unmanned subscale aircraft flying into the U.S. Air Force's Plant 42 Skunkworks headquarters at Palmdale since around 2017.
The
But little is
roof.
still known about the plane. This isn't surprising, considering the SR-71 remained a secret for 10 years. However, in the 21st century, it's
How
a
can
lot
a
harder
plane
to
be
keep
a
things a
secret?
secret, and the SR-72 is reported to be a very low observable, able to reach Mach 6 plus, and difficult to intercept if detected. This would make the SR-71's successor almost twice as powerful as the plane it was based on. The unconfirmed reports on the follow-up aircraft have been floating around since 2007. Various sources have reported since then that Lockheed Martin was developing a hypersonic plane able to fly 6 times the speed of sound, or Mach 6, or around 4,000 miles per hour. Other reports have stated that Lockheed has
4,000
been
miles
testing a
per
new
hour.
scramjet engine that would fit the description of one needed for this kind of speed. They have collaborated with Aerojet Rocketdyne in 2006. This has led to speculation that the SR-72 is to have an air-breathing hypersonic propulsion system. This could give it the ability to accelerate from a standstill to Mach 6 using the same engine. Engine testing is thought to have been carried out in 2017. Although Lockheed Martin has stayed silent on the details of the project, Top Gun Maverick gave an opportunity for the world to get a sneak peek at what the company might consider a concept for the SR-72 as they collaborated
I
on the
love
movie's
this
production.
plane now only.
This kind of prospect meant that the Chinese were very keen to get a look at the DARKSTAR on set for any clues as to what the real thing might look like. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer told media sources that Chinese satellites changed course to try and photograph the mock-up plane. Some experts have suggested that the real SR-72 may be adapted to operate as a bomber, but this would present some serious challenges that even Skunkworks might not be able to overcome.
Like,
To release a bomb and target it accurately would be almost impossible at Mach 6 speeds. Also, the plane would need hundreds of miles to make a turn, and super powerful guidance computers to
100
line up
miles to
targets
make a
that would
turn.
be 80,000 feet below.
Oh my
Then there's the
God.
small
Wow.
matter of
So
opening up
fast.
the plane at 4,000 miles per hour to release a bomb. At those kinds of speeds, it's likely the aircraft would fall apart. However, whatever guise the plan eventually takes, and whatever it's eventually called, be it DARKSTAR or something else, the follow-up to the SR-71 is a very exciting prospect and promises to push the boundaries of what's possible with
crazy.
aeronautical engineering, just like the SR-71 did back in the 60s.
this is not engineering, this is craziness on another level. How can you have such a amazing jet like working in your like army, the thing is US army will become so strong. But the good thing is for other countries is that they have still not been able to understand like how they can throw missiles from it or they can attack from it, because that is the main thing. You just don't want a plane just to fly over other countries. You want it to do something with it, and because it flows at that speed, like that was the most crazy stat for me, that they say that to turn it has to take 100 miles. 100 miles is like 200 kilometers.
Yeah.
So just think about traveling 200 kilometers and you are like, oh my god, it will take so much time, and it will just do that to take a turn. So this is a crazy thing.
Crazy. This is so rapid. I mean, if you look at the picture at the beginning, it just looks like it's fictional. Like it's not real. It's maybe from some movie, some action movie or something like that. It was like that. But after thinking and hearing that it is real, like they have developed it. I mean, and the version is so nice. I mean, the previous version was bit long and it had the wide wings, I would say. And this time they have like shortened it and like more compact, and I would say, and also what I'm thinking is they wanted to make it smaller and more powerful.
Actually, and like they were working on the daddy in 1960s,
Yeah.
and now the son is coming in 2024 or like in the 2020s. So this is a very crazy development, and I think so if this can be made to shoot missiles and everything, then the whole world should just bow down to America, because nothing can beat this. So what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.